Johann Sertorwo. I come from the Volta region. I grew up in many places.
It's fine.
Kanda, Labadi, then Nungwa. And then from Nungwa, we are now, which is Spintex, Garrison Basic School. And then from there to Basque Academy. I think I continued Basque Academy in JSS2. And then secondary school is Pope John High School right now. And then university. There isn't really a first time though. I've just always liked, I feel like to be the kind of artist I am, you have to be a nerd a little bit. And then I've always, watched cartoons since I was a kid, like the Captain Planet and X-Men and all those kind of things. So I always used to draw what I saw. So I think animation came later on. It wasn't like a sudden thing. My brother, the oldest one, told me about animation when I was about, I think, 10 or 11. I didn't know that was the cartoons I was always watching. It was like, you can do animation when you grow up, and then it's just a thing that I never really grasped onto it, but at the same time I never really gave up. Yeah. It's just something I thought, I'd like to try this, and then right now I'm trying it. Okay, the first time I would say was around 2013, during the later during the years after university. But I think the real drive came during COVID. Yeah, when there was jobs were slow, there was nothing to do. I just picked up. Essentially, I was doing nothing, so I just thought, there's always free time. Why don't I start something? And sometimes I can be bad with planning, so I just thought, forget the planning, let's just do it. So I went with a free software and then started. It's called Creator, and it's quite useful, but at the same time, there are ups and downs. Yeah. But right now there's this other one I want to try called Open Tools. Yeah, I haven't started it yet, but I hope to, pick it up a little bit. I heard it's maybe just as good as Creator, but also maybe a little better. So I don't know yet, but I'll find out. Software. I would say Photoshop, but Photoshop isn't really a software. I just tried a little something in it. Probably Flash from Justice League. A little running animation, just some sketchy thing. It wasn't really anything serious, but this was years ago, like I'm guessing 15 plus years ago. Yeah. First would be probably Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a very nimble character, and then he does all these crawls and flips and stuff like that. So he's very dynamic. That's what I liked. That was one of the influences growing up. Yeah, and then another one would be, that's more recent, but from Castlevania.
Yes.
Cypher, yeah. All those moves she does with her hands, that when she's spitting out the fire and ice and whatever. Yeah, I think those are really dope. And then more recently, there's this character called Yuji from this anime, Jujutsu Kaisen. He also has these kind of effects, kind of black fire and all these cool things. And then who would be the last one? Rock Lee from Naruto. Yeah, he's a more speed-based character, and then he also has this kind of Bruce Lee-like discipline and moveset to him. So I think he does a lot of out of all the ones I've mentioned, he is the most martial arts oriented one. Martial arts is all about posing and stuff like that. So yeah. Yes. A little bit of both actually. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you are what you are, where you were born, who you are around. So while you want to broaden your horizons, you also want to keep it at home, play for the home team and all those things. I think it had a lot of personality. The characters it's one person speaking, but they're speaking on behalf of, it's a persona of different characters, but it's one person rapping. So I thought, why not make all these characters different people, as the song is implying. Even though it's a serious song, it's also funny. It's also really funny. Yeah, like the police part. And I think so it was like, if you are animation or creating anything you have an investment in, I think it makes it just a little bit easier. The first one would be Mario, since I was a kid. It's not strictly a cartoon character, but I think it's close enough. And then everyone from the X-Men, but I think the best would be Wolverine, and Link from The Legend of Zelda, and the manga Vagabond by Takehiko Inoue, which is, I think, the biggest influence so far. Yeah, I mean, my style has changed much since then, but I think he was a big influence. That was around high school times, a little bit after high school times. And then more recently, Miles from the Spider-Verse cartoons, the animations, the Into the Spider-Verse and Across the Spider-Verse, which I just saw like a few weeks ago, and probably the best thing I've seen like in a long time.
Why is it the best thing you've seen?
Charlie, it's just so damn creative. Like there's this one shot where they're on some kind of shuttle going to space, and then during the impact frames, for those who don't know, impact frames are like little flashes of light that give like the sense of something happens so suddenly, like someone punches a character, and then you use impact frames. Impact frames are usually like very bright, so when you pause it during those impact frames, you can see that it's like sketches that were used during development. You can see the numbering of the frames and stuff. No one will really catch that, but when I just saw those things, I was like, Charlie, this is crazy. And it's probably like one of the most creative cartoons I've ever seen in my life. Not too reductive by according to the cartoon, but yeah. Hopefully, Charlie. Hopefully. Yeah. For the Who Left, the art style was, I just wanted it to be something simple. It's more basic than my actual art style, which can be a bit complicated. So I wanted to, in the interest of time, and then actually, I think it goes with the tone of the song, which is a little bit comedic. I mean, it's serious, but it also has comedy elements to it. So I just came up with an original cartoonish style. Yeah, it's derivative from my own style, but still has like a cartoonish flair to it. Yeah. Worlasi and I discussed this during the planning stages, and I think, given the nature of the song, where it's like he is talking about he is depicting other characters that like I don't want to say stressed him, but like yeah, I think let's just say they stressed him in some ways that like so since he's the one talking, I thought, why wouldn't it be fun if it was like him wearing their costumes, like him pretending to be, even though he's more closely related to the main character, who is the guy in blue all the time. I thought it would be funny to have him dress up as other characters, which is God, the father, the mother, the girlfriend, the police officer, and the manager or music guru or whatever. Not really. Actually, that was the easy part for me, because I had this pre-sketch I did of Worlasi, and then it's like all you have to do is take away the dreads and then put whatever, like for the father character, for instance, it's like a bald cap that he has, where you can see the skin difference between where the bald cap ends and where his own skin begins. So for that, there were times when I thought like, this doesn't look like him, but then when I just roughly drew dreadlocks on him, I was like, well, I see that, Charlie. Let me start with the girlfriend, because I think I liked her in terms of her style. I liked her, what do you call it, the bob kind of haircut. Yeah, I like the way it was flowing when I was, she made those kind of dramatic movements and stuff like that. And then for the father, I liked the, what do you call that, the horseshoe mustache or handlebar mustache or whatever I call it. I always thought that was funny, so like and then for the policeman, it's not a style for him per se, but like there was a scene where he's signing documents and then he goes from young to old to a skeleton. That didn't come originally, but I just wanted it to be, it was originally supposed to be him writing like different things. I thought, since we're talking about do you know how long it took me to get all these badges and stuff, I thought it'd be fun to make him Like, that meme when you're waiting for something and it's a skeleton waiting for the thing. Yeah. And who else? For God, I didn't want to make it too, I didn't want to make it too serious. Yeah, I wanted him to be like the most obvious costume out of it. So for him, it's like I wanted to make his costume very obvious because you can see the Worlasi's like hair actually sticking out from below the wig. Yeah, so I wanted it to be very obvious with him. I can see a little bit of the stubble from the sides of his face. With me, I have different interests with art, not just animation. There's illustration. I also have interest in 3D art and all those things. So I would like to say, forever. But if you're being realistic, sometimes the attention is taken to another place. Because right now I'm doing animation, the attention has been taken away from other artistic aspects I can be focusing on. But I hope to be doing it for a while. Let's just say that. Who is coming up?
Yes.
Yeah, practice your posing and anatomy. You can get everything on YouTube right now. Like the resources are so easily accessible. So just
Practice.
Yeah, practice and don't be afraid to use references like your own hands, the way you walk, the way you feel, and just observe. Observe movements all the time. Hardware. I use a regular graphics tablet. Mine is very old, and I think just for hardware, just a graphics tablet. Some people do it paper and pen, but Charlie, that'd be too old school for me. And probably that's it. As long as it works, Yeah, you can use the fancy ones or whatever. Mine is like the basic, like the Raphael ones. So, yeah. So in terms of software, I said earlier I use Creator. I'm looking into open tools next, and therefore I guess any kind of video editor just to put the things together.
I think we're done. It's dope.
If anyone is interested in an anti-smoking ad or something, I have an idea for that. So, get in touch.
That's one, yeah.